Well, hello there. Welcome to Seopolis. How's everybody doing? I'm doing great. Yes. So, in between episodes, I did make the health boost augment for our Supremium armor. I believe that we can only put one augment per piece of armor. So I was having a look through here again, and underneath the tier it says which tool or armor that this stuff goes to. So we have the health boost, the strength, or the attack AoE is going to be only one augment I think that we can put on this sword itself. I do eventually want to get mending on this, but that's no big deal. There is mining fatigue resistance. Where was the one I was just looking at? Jump boost. Yeah, there's a poison resistance augment. I was kind of looking in the tier 5, but there's poison resistance. Um, no fall damage. That one can go on the boots. That's not a bad one to have, but I think we get no fall damage with the flight. Step assist we can get, which also goes on the boots as well. We have a jump boost, which we don't need because we have flight. Um, but there is night vision that we could put on the helmet, or we could put water breathing on the helmet. There is also a fire resistance in here somewhere that probably wouldn't be bad to put on one of these pieces of armor, but that is, you know, that is what we were working on. But I've been kind of wandering around the base, and I got a few things going on right now. Right now, I got glass being made. Okay, I turned back on these igneous extruders. We're pulling sand into here. We are smelting it. We are turning it into glass. We are having some issues with mob spawning. But why? Ah. Ah. Look at that. Hey. Now I see the issue. I was wondering why I keep getting, like, randomly attacked from villagers and or zombie villagers and skeletons and things like that. If you press F7, you can see spots that are no longer lit up. Makes sense. But I have a few things going. I have glass going. I had some sand going because we need some silicone. This silicone is made from smelting sand and silicone dust. Mm-hmm. And silicone dust we've gotten from doing our sifting throughout the season. I have quite a bit of it. I have 1,000 sand, and the same thing with glass. We are re-upping the amount of glass that we can get. I think I don't have a void upgrade in here, so we're going to actually want to shut this down for now, and then probably put back the item pipes and just collect ourselves um, some sand. I think. So we'll shove the sand in here, this in here, and this in here. This will all go away. Perfect. Put that away, we'll put that away, and we'll put that away for temporary purposes. The other thing that I've been looking at is we've got a mess in this room in particular, right? We've got our slime tank, we've got these random chests with bits, and a lot of things just in this room in particular. So I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to work on this refined storage quest line. I want to make the machine casing. We've already made the silicone. I want to make the processors, turn them into processors, make the controller, the crafting grid, the disk drive, get some disk storage, get some wireless crafting going on, and then we can start really getting this room cleaned up and a lot better. Now, the first thing that we need to make in this line of questing is the machine casing. Now, I've gone through and looked at the machine casing. It is just a machine frame, which is iron plates, electrum, and bronze gears, surrounded by quartz-enriched iron. Now, quartz-enriched iron can be made with quartz and iron in the induction smelter, or how we did it a couple episodes ago, we went ahead and made the quartz-enriched iron essence, meaning we have a bunch of quartz-enriched iron. The crafting grid, the controller, the disk drive, the wireless transmitter, as well as the wireless crafting grid is going to require us to make let's look at the crafting grid recipe. It's going to require us to make quite a bit of these machine casings. So I have gone ahead and made enough to make 5 machine frames, which I can make into 5 machine casings. So that is done. The silicone quest is done. Looking ahead, though, we're going to need ourselves 1 advanced processor here. We're going to need 2 improved processors here. We're going to need some construction and destruction cores, which are basic processors and glowstone. And this is basic processor and nether quartz. So we're already quite a bit of crafting into, and we're going to need 2 crafting grids for this. The wireless transmitter itself is going to require an advanced processor. This guy's also going to be an advanced processor, so we're going to need quite a few of these different processors. We need another one here for the controller, though this is only wanting us to make 1 of each. So to make a processor, we need this processor binding, which makes 8 processor binding per. I'm going to go ahead and make the 8 stacks of processor binding, because it's going to come in use, right? I need to grab myself another 1, 2 of these. So with the processor binding made, we can actually make ourselves, with the silicone that we have, stacks of these processors. So I can make a stack of raw processors. I can make a stack of raw improved processors. And then I can make a stack of raw advanced processors, which again, this is why I have made so many things. I didn't do that right, did I? There we go. This is why I made the seeds. This is why I've gotten the diamonds and the things that we need to do. Now, these guys right here require smelting. For us, luckily, we can use the Redstone Furnace. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down here. I've got a little bit of a setup with my Redstone Furnace. This will automatically eject the items to the side, and I think I stole an augment out of here. So we're just going to steal them back and make this faster. Automatically puts the processors in there. I'm going to stand here and get these guys all smelted up, and we will continue on. Well, a short time later, and we have our improved processor, we have our advanced processor, and our basic processor. I did go ahead and make 2 more basic processors because when we go to craft the crafting grid and things like that, we need these construction and destruction cores, not deconstruction. So I went ahead and made these basic processors, grabbed a bunch of glowstone. We now have 64 construction cores, and with a really simple click, we can have 64 destruction cores as well. If you're like me and you didn't start refined storage early and you have a bunch of resources, this is easy to do, and it's going to be worth our while, because these construction and destruction cores are used in network transmitters, storage monitor, crafting upgrade, grid, network receiver, external storage, which we need, exporter, constructor, crafters. We need all these things for these various items. But now we can make ourselves the controller, the crafting grid, and move to the wireless transmitter. So, the crafting grid is going to require a bunch of stuff. We need some glass, we need some we need some wood to make a couple of crafting tables. We're going to need a few of those, actually, because we're going to need to make 2 crafting grids. So we're missing the quartz enriched iron, which is no problem. We have tons of it. So to make the grid, which we can make 5 of them, I only need to make 2. There we go. We have the grid. Now for the crafting grid, we need an advanced processor in that crafting table. I think it's not the network receiver. It's the wireless crafting grid that we need another crafting grid for. So I am going to make 2 of these bad boys, like so. That's the one we need for the quest, and that is the one for the wireless crafting grid. Now, controller, it's just silicone, machine casing, processor, and quartz. That was easy to make. The wireless transmitter, we just need an ender pearl, which is nice. We are going to need a few other things in this laundry list of things, but let's go ahead and make the wireless crafting grid. We're going to need a place to charge this because it has no power. It's not linked to anything, so we're going to need to potentially link this. Let's go ahead and make the disk drive, which is missing a chest. There we have a chest. Easy enough. The 1K storage parts, we are missing a redstone for that. Of all things. I'm going to make 3 of these. Because the last and final quest wants us to make a 4K storage part, which is 3 1K storage parts. Bunch of basic processors and things like that. If I were to take and make 6 more of these 1K storage parts, like that, and then I were to make 3 of these 4K storage parts, we can actually use these to make a 16K storage, which I think is going to be what we want to actually make. And I have all the stuff that we need to make that. Now, this chapter is complete. Auto crafting is where we start diving into patterns, pattern grid, requester, crafter, things like that. But what the mod pack is not showing you is a couple of things. We are going to need a network receiver, network transmitter, I believe, for our wireless crafting. We're also going to need some cable, which is this stuff right here. It's quartz, redstone. We need to grab a little bit more quartz and glass, which I believe we have. Yeah, we have plenty of that, but we are going to need some cable. This is made in vats of 12, so I will just make all that we can for now. Very, very nice. And I believe, outside of the transmitters, this should be just about everything that we need to make. So what I'm going to do... Ooh, that's frame trim. Frame trim, frame trim, frame trim, framed trim. You're framed trim, but you're not. So I should be able to do that and still connect this side up. We're going to put our controller here. The controller is essentially the brains of the operation, and this thing is going to need power. Which, for now, we're just going to give it to it behind it. Because, well, it needs power. And we're going to use the underside of it. So, 0 FE being used. This thing is full on power. As we connect things, this will start to drain power. So, for the time being, we are going to connect our disk drive. We are going to connect our crafting grid. And now this is up and running. Very nice. We can even do a little bit of wireless receiver action there. Network not found. I believe honestly I can do that. Yep, it is linked. I might have to link it to this, I'm not sure, but let's see if we can go charge this thing in here. Wireless charging, enable wireless. No. Main hand, offhand, apply? Ah, okay. We can't do it in our storage here. What we are going to need to do is get this guy right here, the Flux Controller. Requires a bunch of flux blocks. This is actually really easy to make. It's just flux blocks, a little bit of flux core, and some flux dust. I think I have all of these things. And once we have that, we should then be able to wirelessly charge this thing and start hooking this thing up to things like our storage drawers so we can start seeing all the things that we have. So the Flux Controller is a neat little block. We can select our network, right? We can go over here into wireless charging, and now we have the main hand. Nothing else we really need to charge at the moment. But there we go. This thing is connected. And as you can see, I was wrong about the network transmitter and receiver. We don't need it. But this thing does have a range of 16 blocks. There are... What are they called? They're called... like a transmitter? No. Is it a range? Yeah, right here. So range upgrade. These things are made with an upgrade, quartz, and ender pearls, and then there's an infinity range booster, which requires this star-infused netherite ingot, which is expensive. But we could do this, right? We could do this eventually. Otherwise, the crafting range is not very far. I get over to here, transmitter out of range. But that's fine. Right now, I can't do anything anyway because this isn't hooked up to anything. So, what I'm going to need to do is I need a... I believe it's a storage bus, not an exporter. External storage. This is what I need right here. So I have most of the things outside of some chests, which should be really easy for us to get. As a matter of fact, I believe that we could just do this. How do we make a chest out of this? Huh? A chest. This guy. That is a trap chest. Oh, it's made out of the actual nether brick. I thought it was made out of this. My fault. So we should be able to do like this. Make 2 chests. And then we need an external storage. The external storage bus is going to allow us to be able to see all the things inside of our storage drawers once we connect it. So we're going to break those blocks. We're going to place this guy here, and we're going to run some cable over to our controller. Okay? So now, what we should be able to do is we should be able to see everything that we have inside the storage drawer. Sorting, descending is fine, by quantity is fine. Apparently the iron nuggets is the thing we have the most of. But now we can come in here and we can search for diamonds. We can throw the stuff in here and it will go back because I don't have a disk drive. And the one thing that I want to do is I want to set the priority on here to any positive number. Okay? We want this thing set to a higher priority. This way, items come out of here and try to go to this storage drawers first. And Refined storage opens up a lot of different things for us. Not only can I get rid of all of these cables here from the pipes mod, because we can do a export bus, which is this guy. Nope, that's an advanced exporter. It's this guy right here. Ooh, what's an advanced exporter? Maybe it's just faster. So the exporter is something that we can get, and then there are speed upgrades from refined storage. These guys right here, which are nice, and then there is a stack upgrade as well, which is this guy right here. So we need 4 speed upgrades and some sugar. This requires a bunch and an upgrade, which is really easy for us to make, and we can start pulling items out of this thing super fast, because I've noticed that this has a little bit of a backlog. Now, the beauty of all this is I can see everything that we have, like I said, in here. And that's really, really nice. Now, a 16K storage part is what we're going to need to start putting all of our stuff inside of the disk drive and get rid of the chests. Basically, I can get rid of all of these chests here, including this guy, and put them into this guy right here on this disk drive. You'll see that it has a blue light. It has 0 out of 16K, and this says it's 0% full. I'm going to set the priority to this to negative. So it is, the refined storage system should be smart enough to send, like, glass not into here. It should send it to the storage drawer, provided there is one for it. So I can do this from here too. I can put stuff in here. We can do all of this. If there's room for it, it'll go in here. If not, it'll start filling up this thing right here. We may need more storage disks because this only stores 1,600 items. I'm not sure if this is by type or if it's... There used to be something like this would take up 1 slot, and then that was it. It didn't store 16,000 items, but that's near here nor there, right? So for mass quantities of things that don't have a storage drawer, we're going to want a storage drawer. And things like nether brick, which I believe some of that might have been stored on here because this is full. What we can do is we can simply grab our upgrade and click that bad boy in there, and as you see, we're at 1727 on the quantity. All of this should go in there, and now we're at 2048, which is perfect. I believe this has a void upgrade in it. So all the nether brick I threw in there, no it doesn't. Didn't get nulled, but that's fine. So with all of this being said, I'm going to throw all of this stuff inside of my bag here, and we're going to start yanking all of these items out of here, and we're going to start throwing them into our refined storage system so that we don't have to worry about things anymore. As I said, this thing is going to fill up rather quickly, but this is going to be so much nicer, right? So much nicer. One thing we're going to want to do is probably grab our axe. I believe we're going to need that to break... Oh, it says pickaxe. Yep, we're going to break that. We're going to break this. We're going to break all these things. And hopefully when I come back, we will be nice and tidy. Well, I was wrong. We don't need another disc. This thing only had 5.4K items, so we're not even half full at the moment. This is nice. This is nice and tidy. Oh, looks like I forgot some books. Nice and tidy here. So, a few things that we need to do still is I have room for other bulk item stuff if we need it. Things like the Constantan, the Bronze, and the Electrum. I believe, yeah, we don't have seeds for these guys yet. So we are going to need to set up some drawers for this. I do believe I have set up an Invar drawer. That's steel. That's graphite. There's Invar. Yeah, we got a bunch of Invar now. So some of these middle tier alloys we need to set up. That's why this drawer is still here. I want to set up some more compacting drawers around this area and start really getting into a bunch of things. But what I want to do first is probably get into an exporter. And then we're going to need ourselves a bunch of sugar, which that's fine. And then we're going to need, what do we need? We need 4 speed upgrades for here, and then maybe a couple more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those should be fine. Which means I should be able to make 7 of those. We should be able to make 1 a stack upgrade. And grab these, and then grab our cable. Very nice indeed. So, the exporter, actually, I shouldn't need much other than that right there. I should be able to do this, and get rid of all of these pipes, and this should be exporting to our system. Now, we can put the stack and the speed upgrades in here. That's why I made 7. And this should be pulling items as fast as we can throw them in here. I don't know why these are not going. Ignores redstone, exact mode, that doesn't... Wait. This doesn't matter. It should all be trying to pull into the disk drive. Does it not have another place to go? Oh, I know why. I think we need an importer. Right? Otherwise, we can't do this? I don't know. It's pulling all the other items out, but not the universal pipes, and it's not sending it back to our system. I may be wrong. That's what we're gonna do, huh? Aha! I just had these back. So importer imports it, export will pull it out. Ah. So if I were to look into my crafting table, and let's go down here to the thing we have the least, blast chiller. And I were to put the blast chiller in here, it's gone. And if we look up blast chiller, bam. Okay, we've got it. We've got it. So this should be able to keep up with anything and everything that we're doing. I could probably take the sweet berries out of there now. I bet you we got enough. Yeah. I put melons in there to start gaining some melons. I think we can actually take our phytogenic insulators down. But what we have gotten ourselves into now with completing the entire quest line, like I said, is we can get into auto crafting, right? So looks like we have a crafter that can be used into a iron crafter, that can be used to make a gold crafter, that can be used to make a diamond crafter, and then a netherite crafter. I think these just go faster, like this holds more slots for patterns. I think the basic crafter from refined storage only holds like 10, 9, something like that. So we have these guys hold 27, 45, 63, and an 81 patterns. So that makes it really nice if we're doing like bulk crafting. But I can set up all of these things to be automatically used for crafting, like the Redstone Furnace. I can set up this to be used, the induction smelter. The harder thing to set up is the dissolution chamber because this uses certain fluids, like ether gas, for instance. We can even set up the smeltery to be automated, and this just leads us into a lot of different potential things, and it really cleans up our whole thing, right? Um, I think we're going to start redoing some of the base area here. Things are getting kind of all over the place. Um, the nether portal can actually come down, as we remembered last episode. The farming area can go away. We don't need it. That can stay. I like where that is, but I might move this over to here maybe. Really don't need the basic mob spawner anymore. If anything, we're going to put this somewhere else because of the feral flare lantern that is keeping our base nice and lit. And I think we're going to want some corridors between the different rooms and start setting up, if nothing else, we're going to start setting up the compact machines so that we have them in other locations to go to. The next big thing that I think I want to work on is the redesign of all of this in here. Getting some more hydroponic pots set up, getting better power to these guys because they're not, they don't have the power and they're not running as fast as they could, which means we are not getting as many items as we could be. And there is a simple mod that I think can fix all of this, and it's called XNet. There is a XNet controller. This guy right here, really easy to make. We do have to make some simple machine frames again. And then from there, we can kind of power this thing, and we can put network cable as well as connectors. We don't need the routing connectors. We just need regular old connectors. And we can set channels for power. We can set channel for items. We can set channels for fluids. It's a really, really powerful mod. And I think we're going to look into that for setting up the different things that we have here. Power, water, ether gas, items being put into different crafters, and things like that. But for now, we got ourselves a nice little basic refined storage system set up. We have some creative flight, and I'm very happy with this system. It's basic, but it works. Anytime we need to craft something like this controller, we can. The nice thing about this is this turns gold when we're missing items. So we need 2 repeaters in the machine frame. As far as the connectors go, we're missing red dye. But because we have so much... we don't. I thought you could use sweet berries as red dye. But it looks like beetroot? Don't tell Tiz. um, we'll throw that in there. Can I throw this in here? No? Really? Maybe I need a poppy then. Maybe we can do that. I've got a couple of those. Oh, that works. Okay, well, we'll just do that. Never mind. Perfect. All right. So we're going to start collecting some red dye. This way we can utilize that next time. And I think what I'm going to do is I've got all the things I need for another star crux. I think we have almost all the things that we need to make a nether star seed. So we might look at starting to get that so we can start advancing into some of these quests. And here at the end of the episode today, let's take a look at what we've got left. So all of these are complete. That's why I have them tabbed down. Ocean exploration, we need to kill an Elder Guardian. The Twilight Forest, we need to do it in its entirety. The same thing with the end. The Nether is complete. And we did have this guy, the banner pattern for the Bastion, the pig. We found that. Compact machines, we just need to make these 2 compressors right here, which is no big deal. Mob cages is going to be a pretty easy thing to get into. And I'm not sure if we're going to use this to our advantage. We can, but I think it's going to be just as easy with mystical agriculture. This is just... I have no idea what this is, honestly. more red. At more red. So it's just, yeah, look, a diode, a NOT gate, okay, NOR gate, an in AND gate, an OR gate, an AND gate, XOR, XNOR, multiplexer, 2-put input, AND gate, 2-put input, NAND. So this is just more logic for really vamping your Redstone capabilities. That's neat. Finishing out mechanisms, starting to get these alloys and the energy tablets, and we already have a wind generator and solar panel. This mod right here, we're going to want to look into the pedestals with the mystical agricultural crops. There's something we can do there. We can get the crusher, the enrichment chamber, the energized smelter, and the precision sawmill, as well as the osmium compressor setup from mechanism, and then upgrade these machines to the ultimate tier, which is really nice. Then we can start doing this right here, which is like doubling, tripling, and quadrupling our ores if we wanted to. Then we have the auto crafting. We have all these seeds to make, which I'm probably going to just do off camera because it's a lot, and a lot of these seeds we do need to set up. Some of these we really need to set up, which we have almost all the stuff for it, right? Then we have finishing out the emerald sieving questline. I need to make a netherite mesh and get titanium, dilithium, and fluorite, as well as the star-infused netherite ingot, which is fine because we are going to use that to make the infinity range booster for our wireless crafting. Then it looks like we start getting into... What is this mod pack called? This is Mechanism... The combiner is mechanism. Titanium plate, though, is lib volps. And we can make rockets. We can make all kinds of things. We can go to other worlds. Looks like we can go to the moon, Mars, and Mercury. That could be cool. We then, yeah, I did this. I did kill the Wither. We do have to kill a Kraken. We have to kill an Ender Dragon and a Crawler. And then the last thing that we're going to be doing is extended crafting, creating the ultimate singularity and the ultimate ingot, which this looks intimidating, but we can do it. Some of these are going to be really weird, like 5,000 machine frames, but hey, we can do it. The ultimate ingot is going to be something that we can do with all of the different things that we're going to get through mystical agriculture and the rest of our playing, and then that is where we can actually wrap up the quest lines. In Chapter Challenges 4, we can create the creative storage upgrade, which is insane. That is a crazy recipe. Creative paste container. I'm not sure what this is, but that's cool. Wait, that's creative essence? How do we make that? Oh, we have to make multiple. No. Creative ability. That's cool. Creative fluid storage, creative upgrade, infinity pipe upgrade, power input in the creative controller, fully powered refined storage, never have to use power again. But that is what we are gearing ourselves towards in this pack. And once again, I probably ran on a lot longer than I intended. That's how modded goes. I wanted to get this basic refined storage system set up and running so that we can do better stuff. I can run better pipes. This cable is a lot better with the importer and exporters, making things a lot faster for us so we don't have to worry about bottlenecks in our item movement, such as the ender chest, ender tanks, and stuff like that. But that's where we're going to end things today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, leave a like. Leave a comment. Consider subscribing. Check the description down below for all the ways to different. For all the different ways to follow me, including links to Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. There's also a link to my second channel where I upload live streams. We don't just play Minecraft. We don't just play modded. You guys know that. There's a link to Patreon if that's something that interests you. Otherwise, thank you guys so much, and I will see you on the next one.